Vayelech Harana. Unbelievable questions about the parasha. I had a zchut to spend some hours last night with Shlomo.
I had the school.
I had the zchut to eat with him. He didn't really participate as much. Two types of cholent on the same Friday night. You know, when you eat cholent on Shabbat, Hashem give you a lot of siyata dishmaya. When you eat cholent on Thursday night, you have less of a siyata dishmaya. But two cholent on Thursday night, you have no siyata dishmaya. So, Shlomo, toda rabba for making it happen. So, some questions I got from Shlomo, it's an unbelievable question. So, basic question. Vayetze Yaakov miBe'er Shava, Vayelech Harana. So, Rashi says, ויצא יעקב מזרעי שבזמן שהצדיק בעיר הוא הודה, הוא זיווה, הוא הדרה. יצא מהעיר, יצא הודה, יצא זיווה, יצא הדרה. So when tzaddik is in the city, he's everything of the city. When he left, nothing left on the city. So the obvious question is, come on, who knew בכלל יצחק? He was in yeshivat Shem Vayetze hiding from his brother. So he was really under Yaakov. He was underground, meaning nobody knew it was exist. He didn't tell me you have a choshuv rov in the city, people know, as influence, I'll accept it. But here, he had zero involvement in the city. So how can he be a big effect on the city? But the real question is, the Torah introducing us into a new concept. When the tzaddik leaves the city, we had tzaddikim leaving city before. Avraham left Eretz Israel, Yitzchak left. Over there, the Torah doesn't say Vayetze. Although Avraham was way more involved in the community versus Yaakov. By Avraham, we don't say Vayetze over there, he left, we don't say Pana Oda, Ziva, Ve'adara. By Yaakov, he leaves, suddenly Pana Oda, Pana Ziva, Pana Adara. Big deal out of it.
I saw a kasha from
Let's try.
it says Vayetze Yaakov in Parsha. Why did he leave last week's parasha? Because Esav wanted to kill him. One of the reasons. So Esav tried to kill you. Why didn't you say V'barach Yaakov in Parsha?
Vayvrach Yaakov. Okay, so maybe the point of Vayetze to emphasize is not about running, it's about making the effect. So it says that he left from Beersheba Vayelech Harana. So Vayifga b'makom Vayalen sham ki ba shemesh. So he met the makom. מה זה מקום?
הר המוריה.
הר המוריה. That Avraham Avinu called it makom. Okay. So if Avraham called it makom, why calling it now makom? Why do you refer, what's the specialty of referring to Har HaMoriah as a makom where Yaakov met Har HaMoriah? You should say Vayifga be Har HaMoriah. Since Avraham called it makom, it's not the reason we should call it makom. Especially makom has no meaning. מה זה מקום? Place, נכון? ויפגע במקום. So the Torah says that, so we call it the name of Hashem, that's need explanation. Why Hashem called makom? מה זה מקום? They said on the Shiva, the Sfaradim says, מן השמיים תנוחמו. Ashkenazim saying on the Shiva, המקום ינחם אתכם וכו'. So they said it depends which family, you know? The guy, Ashkenazi family, usually Ashkenazi in America, they have the asset left for the family.
Good inheritance.
So in a lot of inheritance. So he said, Hamakom, you know, you see the house, you see what's left, Yenachem etchem, we'll live nechama. But Sfaradim, min hashamayim tenuchamu, you know. So what's the Hamakom? The place, what's the place over here? Interesting, Vayifga b'makom, why Vayifga means? It says, Rabotenu tiknu tfilat arvit. Why Yaakov feels the need to make a tfilah Arvit when he comes to the place. Ad hayom, he didn't pray Arvit. You come to this place, there is a certain encouragement, Dafka Tfilat Arvit. What's special about Tfilat Arvit that Yaakov decided to make a Dafka on that place? כן, אבל דווקא תפילת ערבית. ובזה דין of תפילת ערבית, את יעקב is מתקן.
זה לא חובה. פשוט.
זה
פשוט.
זה הזמן שהוא ניצל מהזה של המלאך.
לא, זה שבוע הבא.
זה רשות, לא חובה.
We'll talk about it in a second. The Gemara in Sanhedrin says that Hashem says, מה? יעקב הגיע לבית מלוני, he came to my malon, he's not going to sleep? No, והיה לנו שם קיבה השמש. Hashem made sure it's going to be שקיעה early, so he can sleep by him. What's going on? Hashem, Yaakov sleeping by you, what's your point? It's like something like, you're going to, last time I used to go to my parents and leave before Shabbat. No, stay for us for Shabbat. Yaakov is passing by. Hashem says, no, I need Yaakov to sleep by me. What's the gain of Hashem? Okay, he slept. Then what? What? It seems like Hashem is giving us. He's not willing to let Yaakov leave. So Yaakov, it's okay to go away. Yaakov, it seems like two Moroccans are fighting. You sleep in my house or not? He doesn't want to sleep. He says, no, you have to sleep by me. I'm canceling your flight so you can sleep by me. Yaakov didn't want to sleep over there. Yaakov went weiter, נכון? Hashem made דווקא בכוונה. It says he went back. Hashem made בכוונה that he should go back. He should be שקיעה earlier. So דווקא Yaakov can sleep by him. If he doesn't want to sleep, leave him alone. What's the message over here?
You're asking us why did the sun come down?
Yeah, so why Hashem insisting for Yaakov to sleep when he doesn't want to sleep? Because if he wanted to sleep, he would have stayed over there. It seems that Yaakov בדווקא wanted to sleep. So talking about תפילת ערבית, there is a מחלוקת in the Gemara. The Mishnah says תפילת הערב אין לה קבע. מה זה אין לה קבע?
No set time.
No set time, seemingly. מה אין לה קבע? The Gemara says not like who. אילימה דיבה אימץ לכל הלילה. If you want to say you can pray the whole night, there is no set time. ליתן תפילת ערבית כל הלילה. אלא the Gemara says אלא מה אין לה קבע? כמאן דאמר תפילת ערבית רשות. If you hold תפילת ערבית רשות, then אין לה קבע. רבי גמליאל אומר, זה רבי יהושע אומר רשות, and רבי גמליאל אומר תפילת ערבית חובה. So, יש לה קבע means חובה, אין לה קבע means רשות. So, the Torah, the Mishnah should say תפילת ערבית רשות. זה פחות חזיין עמוד ב'. The Mishnah should say תפילת ערבית רשות. Now we have a big story over here that Rabbi Yeshua, they asked in the Bes Medrash, Rabbi asked Rabbi Yeshua, תפילת ערבית רשות או חובה? אמר לו רשות. says Rabbi Yeshua רשות. אמר לו עמוד על רגליך. Because Rabbi Gamliel hold that תפילת ערבית is חובה. Rabbi Gamliel, before the respect, you disagree with him, you're making him stand the whole shiur. Meaning, what's going on? Talk about giant people. In a class, you're telling a kid, go stand up. You're making them stand the whole לא יפה, there is a better way to behave. What's going on in the mind of Rabbi Gamliel to make him stand the whole time? Going weiter. It says,
Should have a shooter on that one time. Interesting story.
Yeah. I do have a malach. One day maybe, if I left. So, the story with the Avanim need explanation. Yaakov Avinu needs a pillow, נכון? So he's collecting the stones. פתאום the Avanim became from. כל אחד אומרת, עלי יניח צדיק ראשו. So they all wanted עלי יניח צדיק ראשו. Hashem said, okay, you know what? You're going to be one stone. If you take the story literally, if each one wants the tzaddik to sleep on them, נכון? Meaning they want to have the zchut. What did Hashem did? He took out their identity. You're all going to be together. There is no Avanim anymore. I think it's much more choshuv when you have 20 people fighting over somebody than having one community, okay, we all agree. If they're fighting to get Yaakov to sleep, so I think it's, if you put all of the Avanim together just under Yaakov, that's a higher, much more chashuv to Yaakov than making it into one stone. Because one stone, you reduce the whole momentum of everybody wants Yaakov to sleep by them. And all this kind of need to be explained. The Avanim are fighting. Who's going to put the head? There's another question, basically, that I have no answer for it for today. Maybe I'll have siyata d'shmaya. Each one, the Torah says, Yisam et ha'even merashotav, נכון? So, because Rashi says, because of chayot raot, bad animals. They go only to the head, they don't go to the body? I have no answer for that. He said he put the stones around his head. What about the body? מה מוח, אחי? זה חיות רעות או לא חיות רעות? They eat the heart, לא?
The stones
Actually, animals like that go right for
They don't like feet.
Yeah, okay, so they're not going to meet him here, they're going to go down. Ma.
Didn't he put it around his body?
Huh?
Didn't he put it around his
No, around his head. את האבן אשר שם מראשותיו.
The stones are like two Moroccan argument. Then you go put all of them in one room.
לא, זה נהיה בלגן יותר, זה נהיה בלגן יותר. וייטר.
Anybody who has a good answer, just put a line in the room and I'll just put it on the bed and no one see if your answer.
Homeland security.
וייטר, והיה חלום, והנה סולם מוצב ארצה, וראשו מגיע שם האמא, תהיה סולם, the ladder goes up, the Jacob ladder. והנה מלאכי אלוהים עולים ויורדים בו. So he has a dream that the malachim are going up and down. If you go weiter in the dream, the story of the sulam has nothing to do over here. מה הקשר עכשיו סולם? Okay, סולם עולים ויורדים בו, okay. And then Hashem promised him you're going to get the land, you're going to be all of the ברכה. What do we need at the beginning of the story בכלל to tell us the malachim going up and down? There is no message to us on this part of the pasuk. Okay, the malachim going up and down. Okay, so
It's
part of the
promise.
no, but before the dream begins, that he see the ladder, and then Hashem giving him bracha. The ladder has nothing to do.
Simple.
No, but has nothing to do to the message of the dream, and it doesn't have any effect on the dream.
Oh, doesn't it have to be first Yordim V'Azolim?
Oh, excellent question about it, me. Why we says olim veyordim? If you have security, right? First you need the new crew to come, and then you need the old crew to go. Huh?
Right, so that's a question.
Okay, so yeah, but first get.
He was leaving.
Yeah, but he was alone for a certain amount of time, because they were going up, and then the Malachi Chutz La'aretz were going down. So why do you leave them alone? Excellent question. First Olim and then Yerdim. When you have a shift change, the shift doesn't go home and then the other one comes in, other than the hospitals. If the shift begins at, they're changing shift at 7 o'clock, so the first one comes at 6 and the last one leaves at 8. So they change shift to overlapping. There was no overlap over here. It was going up, it was alone, and then suddenly going down. What's going on
Why
over
can you
here?
say it simultaneously?
Huh?
Why can you say it simultaneously? Haven't
the
said
No,
same
that.
time.
עולים ויורדים. רש"י אומר, עולים תחילה, לא, רש"י says clear, עולים תחילה ואחר כך יורדים.
I was going to ask something else. I was going to ask that
איך הם
מלאכים
יעלו
נמצאים
אם הם לא היו
בשמיים.
למטה?
The Malachim were already with
הם
him.
נמצאים כבר
already
No,
בשמיים.
they escort them, they accompany them.
already down.
No, but I think it's better. It makes sense to say יורדים ועולים. I mean, why doing things twisted and find out solutions to the problem?
No, the malachim were already down.
לא.
אז
רש"י.
מאיפה הם עלו?
No, the one from Eretz Israel were down, they went up, and the one from
נכון.
חוץ לארץ afterwards came down.
אוקיי,
So you had a gap. לא, רש"י אומר תחילה, עולים רק יודעים, מה אתה אומר? עולים תחילה, first עולים, then, ואחר כך יורדים. כתוב ביחד?
Okay, so one goes. So
לא, עולים תחילה ואחר כך יורדים. מה אומר גיל?
Just so I'm clear, so we have angels escorting him, and then you're bothered by the fact that if the purpose to escort him, then the proper thing is to do is once the malachim, by the time the ones go up, we already should have those down. Because
Correct.
it's job to escort. And
Correct.
that's the ikar, escorting. So there should be a break, like in the hospital you gave.
Exactly. Exactly. אה? לא, אבל רש"י מדגיש, תחילה עולים ואחר כך יורדים.
אבל לא, בגלל זה אומרים, אז שניהם הולכים לחוץ לעבודה אחת, אז...
לא, אבל הוא נשאר בלי מלאכים. The first מלאכים went up, he's alone. But he was alone. If he needed protection, why leaving him alone?
זה בסדר גמור.
מה בסדר גמור?
כי הוא גבר. אז אי אפשר שיהיה את המיקס הזה.
לא, מה לא? עם אברהם אבינו, they came together, and this one did. Let them do the shit. Joey, what do you say? No, the
עכשיו רוצה להשפיע.
shower?
He's in Yerushalayim, Bet HaMikdash. There's no safer spot. Why does he need protection?
Very good, very good. Maybe you don't need that.
רש"י אומר לו
הוא גבר, לא אף מטר. So what do we need them before and after?
רש"י אומר לו לבותו.
To escort them. אוקיי, אוקיי.
בידע.
אוקיי, מקבל, יפה מאוד. וייטר, והנה השם ניצב עליו, רש"י said לשומרו. מי ישמור אותו עכשיו? יש לו מלאכים. No angels, יפה. ועולה ועכשיו, he said, אלוקי אברהם ואלוקי יצחק. רש"י says, how can you say אלוקי יצחק? Because when Yitzchak was still alive, you cannot say אלוקי יצחק. רש"י said, יצחק was חשוב כמת, as if he's dead already. למה? Because he was already blind in his house, קבור בבית, לא יוצא, as if he's dead. Why do you need to kill יצחק,
why didn't you say יצחק אביך? only אברהם אביך.
It's a good question, I don't know. לאברהם אביך ולא יצחק. No, excellent question. I don't know why.
He said Yosef.
Okay, now we're going weiter. והארץ אשר אתה שוכב אליה, לך ותננה ולזרעך. So, Hashem is giving Yitzchak the bracha, the same bracha he gave Avraham. But there are many differences between the way Hashem gave the bracha to Avraham than the way he gave it to Yitzchak, to Yaakov. By Avraham he says, "Kum italech ba'aretz leorka ulrochba." By Yaakov it says, "Haaretz asher ata shochev aleh." I'm folding it. It's under you. מה ההבדל? Why by Avraham you gotta go walk back and forth? Second, it says, "Vaya zaracha k'afar haaretz." Then, "Uparachta yama v'kedma v'tzafona v'negba, v'nivrchu becha kol mishpachot ha'adama uvzarecha." So first we mentioned zaracha will be k'afar haaretz, and then Hashem uparachta yama v'kedma v'tzafona v'negba. So first difference by Avraham he says, it's Perek Yudaled. Perek Yudaled pasuk, Perek Yud pasuk Yudaled. Perek Yud pasuk Yudaled. So by Yaakov he says, "Uparachta yama v'kedma." We have a song, nachon? But they didn't take the right pasuk. Because in Avraham, the first pasuk doesn't say yama v'kedma, Yud Gimel Yudaled. Yama v'kedma, tzafona v'negba. By Avraham it says the opposite. Tzafona v'negba, yama v'kedma. What's the difference?
Where they were, the placement.
Huh?
He was coming from the south, you're coming from the north. So Safona.
No, but both of them, we're talking about directions. Either direction is yama v'kedma, tzafona v'negba. Doesn't make a difference. We're talking about the surrounding direction. Why one yama v'kedma, tzafona v'negba, and I want tzafona v'kedma, and then yama v'kedma.
Placement.
Anyway, you're holding, you have yama v'kedma, tzafona v'negba. Avraham was in Beersheba back then?
Unless you're in the most
Huh?
southern point or whatever it was.
I'm sorry?
Unless you're at the edge.
מן המקום אשר אתה שם, צפונה ונגבה כנראה.
So
אתה שם.
he gotta be in any point that he needs all,
כיוונים.
כל הצדדים, כל הרוחות, right?
Unless you're at the edge.
So no, then he should have one less. But we have all four. No, we have all four. Just the order is different. Here yama v'kedma tzafona v'negba, here tzafona v'negba, yama v'kedma. Another thing, when Hashem told Avraham, "Kum italech ba'aretz," that was after. He said, "I'm going to give it, yeh lecha zaracha k'afar haaretz," and then you're going to be yama v'kedma tzafona v'negba, and then he says, "Kum italech ba'aretz." By Yaakov is the opposite. First Hashem kipel et haaretz tachtav. First he folded the land under him, and then he told them, "You're going to be zaracha k'afar haaretz," and Yama v'kedma tzafona v'negba. You see the fundamental difference between Abraham received the land after, Mishain Ken Yaakov received the land before, at the beginning. What's the difference? So Hashem is telling him, "V'ina anuchi imach." By the way, there is an unbelievable Gemara. The Gemara says in Masechet Shabbat, כל המענג את השבת, anyone who give, מתענג for שבת, נוטלים לו נחלה בלי מצרים. We're going to get נחלה without limitation, שנאמר, והרכבתיך על במותי הארץ. ואכלתיך נחלת יעקב אביך. Just יעקב אביך ימה וקדמה צפונה ונגבה. Therefore, anyone who's מענג את השבת, מקבל כמו אברהם. Why? כמו יעקב. Why if you're going to eat a lot of cholent on Shabbat and expensive wine, inheritance? Why you're going to get so much if you מכבד את השבת, you're going to get the נחלה of יעקב. So you eat good cholent, you have good, מכבד את השבת meaning talking about food. Expensive wine, good food, you're going to have a נחלה of יעקב. weiter. He goes, והיה זרעך, והנה אנוכי עמך, ושמרתיך בכל אשר תלך, והשיבותיך אל האדמה הזאת, כי לא אעזבך, עד עשיתי את אשר דיברתי לך. ויקץ יעקב משנתו, ויאמר, אכן יש אדוני במקום הזה, ואנוכי לא ידעתי. מה זה לא ידעתי? You didn't know that Hashem is in this place? The only reason is why he came במקום הר המוריה. You know Hashem is there. And then he says, וירא ויאמר, מה נורא המקום הזה? אין זה כי אם בית אלוקים, וזה שער השמיים. That's considered as בית אלוקים, the house of Hashem, and this is the gate of Hashem. The gate of Hashem, Rashi said, מקום תפילה for all of the tefillot to go up to Beit HaMikdash. Why do you think this is, what's changed now by Yaakov? That suddenly he realized that this is a place where the message of Hashem, Beit Yaakov and Beit HaMikdash. He already davening, he knew that's a makom of tefillah. So what's changed now after that? Then he says, ויקח את האבן אשר שם מראשותיו, he convert the heaven into מצבה. Why converting the heaven into מצבה? What's the חידוש? דווקא the heaven that he slept on, he converted into מצבה, and he made another מזבח. And then he conclude, והאבן אשר שנתי מצבה יהיה בית אלוהים, וכל אשר תיתן לי, עשרנו לאחיר. יעקב took upon himself to give מייסר, but he says עשרנו, כמה זה 10 פלוס 10? 20% מעשר. That's a מקור for 20% מעשר. שורשים, up to you. That's no מקור, no. Maybe בית אלוקים. No, he said אין זקים בית אלוקים, So really, so the shayla, what's going on with Yaakov in this week parasha? Avraham Avinu, let's start with Avraham Avinu. הכיר את בורו, אימת הקדוש ברוך הוא. Meaning, introduce Hashem into the world. אברהם אבינו was מקרב את כל העולם, נכון? מקרב את doing קירוב, outreach, אור לגויים. יצחק. What did Yitzchak do for Hashem? Was he מקרב anybody? מה said the Torah was עולה תמימה. Yitzchak is a full עולה, which is not doing anything for Hashem. We don't have any story of Kiruv about Yitzchak. We don't read anything that Yitzchak did for Hashem. The only thing instead of laughing Yitzchak, we hear the fight with the Be'er, nothing much. For a simple reason. Abraham brought Hashem into the world. Yitzchak brought himself into Hashem. He gave it himself completely to Hashem. So there are two ways to be in this world. Either you're bringing Hashem into the world, or you're giving yourself to Hashem. After the brachot, Yitzchak gave the brachot to Yaakov. By giving the brachot to Yaakov, he's telling him, I'm giving you my koach to you. What is the Yitzchak? The Gemara says, Bamatzia, when Resh Lakish died, he left kaba de morika, a small amount of vegetables. And קרא על עצמו את הפסוק, ועזבו לאחרים חלם. He left others the strength. Because all of the inheritance of a person contain him inside. So when he's bequeathing it to the next generation, he's giving himself. So Yitzchak taking commitment to Yaakov, he's telling him, when I'm going to be over from this world, I'm giving you my place with the connection of Hashem to you. After the brachot, I'll explain it. After the brachot, the only thing Yaakov gained from the brachot is receiving the relationship that Yitzchak has with Hashem, which means giving himself completely to Hashem. So far, Yaakov was doing it because he was doing Nitman Be'yeshivat Shen Va'ever. So he's suitable to take the place of Yaakov, of Yitzchak, giving himself completely to Hashem. When Yaakov about to go to Haran, last week parasha it says, Yitzchak told him, you're going to Haran, Kum lech padena aram, and get for you a wife, וכל שדי יברך אותך באפרך וירבך והיית לי כלמים וייתן לך את ברכת אברהם. So when Yaakov is going to Haran, he's getting one more thing. What is he getting? Birkat Avraham. What is Birkat Avraham? Yaakov is getting now his grandfather Avraham and Yitzchak very soon because he didn't die yet. So at this point Yaakov is getting at Avraham, which is bringing Hashem into the world, and he is getting soon Yitzchak, which is giving himself to Hashem. Can you do both? Can you bring Hashem to the world and give? If you're giving, we see very clear, if you're giving yourself to Hashem, you don't bring other people to the world. Yitzchak didn't do any kiruv.
Isn't that a korban?
Huh? That's a korban. Yes. So Yitzchak is a korban. He didn't do any kiruv. If you're bringing yourself to Hashem, you're stuck. You can't bring people to Hashem. But you can bring Hashem, Avraham Avinu bring Hashem into the people. The Medrash says on our Gemara, Ma nora makom hazeh. Unbelievable name. Medrash Rabbah. אמר רבי יצחק, לא, רב הונא בשם רבי עמי, מפני מה מכנים שמו של הקדוש ברוך הוא וקוראים לו מקום? Why do you call the name of Hashem מקום? מה זה מקום? שהוא מקומו של עולם ואין עולמו מקומו. Hashem is the מקום of the world and the world is not the מקום of Hashem, which means Hashem is the מקום of the world means that this old place is the place of Hashem and we are guests by Hashem. But מקומו של עולם, עולם, it's not the מקום for Hashem. We are not hosting Hashem. We're not the makom. We don't bring Hashem to our place. Rather, Hashem is here and we are coming to Him. So therefore, he said the Midrash continued a little bit. מעונה מה דכתיב הנה מקום איתי. So the Etz Yosef explained that when Hashem comes to Beit HaMikdash, it's not that we are bringing Hashem to Beit HaMikdash. Rather, that's the place of Hashem. Meaning we are coming to Hashem in Beit HaMikdash. Defining Hashem as Makom means that I am a guest by Hashem. Avraham hosts Hashem in the world. He brought Hashem into the people. Yitzchak gave himself to Hashem. Yaakov is in the middle. How do you give yourself to Hashem but you're bringing Hashem to people? You're making Hashem to be the host of the world. So if the whole world is established by Hashem, you are a guest by Hashem. What's the difference between a guest to a resident of a house? A guest always feels, I told you the sign, I did put in my house, we'll have guests for 3 days. Nachon? Because guest is somebody that does not belong to the place. A resident belongs to the place. What's the difference between guest and when you're going to sleep at night? Nachon? As a guest, what do you do before you're going to sleep? You go over, you thanks, you guest. Nachon?
Thank your host.
When you thanks your host. When you're going to sleep in your house, do you thank anybody? No. Yaakov getting into a transition, understanding you have a merge between Yitzchak and Avraham. You are becoming now a guest of honor by Hashem. Therefore, the Gemara says, Hashem says, Ma, Yaakov is traveling. He's not going to sleep by me? Because Yaakov didn't think he can be ready bichlal to be a guest by Hashem. Yaakov carried the midot of Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu, his job is to bring Hashem to people. So Yaakov says, I cannot be guest by Hashem. When can Yaakov be guest by Hashem? Only if he join together with Yitzchak. So at this point, Yaakov ignores sleeping over there because I'm not a guest by Hashem. I'm just bringing Hashem into the world. Currently, he has only Birkat Avraham. Therefore, when Hashem spoke with them, Hashem told them, Elokei Avraham ve'Elokei Yitzchak. But Rashi says Elokei Yitzchak. But after he died, how can you say Elokei Yitzchak? Yitzchak chashuv kemet. Hashem is telling Yaakov, at this point, you carry Yitzchak and Avraham. I'm converting you into a guest on the world. You think you cannot because you only carry Birkat Avraham. At this point, you have also Birkat Yitzchak. So therefore, Yaakov now became a guest in the world. The highest place, the highest level of being a guest, it's by a place, it's Beit HaMikdash. Because Beit HaMikdash, it's a place that we think we are hosting Hashem. But Hashem telling us, no, what's Beit HaMikdash for me? I'm hosting you.
It's his house.
So, right. So in Beit HaMikdash, we have a merge between us hosting Hashem. It looks like we're hosting Him, but we really, Hashem is hosting us. So when you go on a guest and you're going to sleep at night, what do you do before you're going to sleep? You say, thank you. Therefore, Yaakov תיקן תפילת ערבית. תפילת ערבית. Before you're going to sleep, you got to say thank you to Hashem. Now, תפילת ערבית is רשות או חובה? מחלוקת. According to Rabbi Yeshua, תפילת ערבית רשות. According to Rabban Gamliel, תפילת ערבית is חובה. If תפילת ערבית is רשות, the Mishnah calls it תפילת ערבית אין לה קבע. מה זה אין לה קבע? That means there is no מקום קבוע that you are by. And therefore, תפילת ערבית becomes רשות. If you have מקום, if you are host, אם יש לה קבע, if you are host by somebody, then תפילת ערבית will be חובה. So when the Mishnah said תפילת ערבית רשות, אין לה קבע, that's the reason it's a רשות. Because if you understand you קבוע by Hashem is keva, that means you have to give it to Hashem. That means you are in the makom of Hashem and you have to say thank you to Hashem. So, tfilat arvit en la keva, meaning...
Is it at the end of the day you're always a guest?
What? So the question, how do you treat your place where you are at? If you understand, en la keva mean, I'm not kavua, I don't have to do it, that means you don't treat yourself as a guest by Hashem. Therefore, you don't have to do it. If you understand this chova, that means you have a makom by Hashem, and you have the responsibility to say thank you to Hashem. So when Rabbi Gamliel asking Rabbi Yeshua, תרוות ערבית רשות או קבע? מה רבי יהושע אומר? רשות. מה הוא אמר לו? עמוד על רגליך. We learned today in דף היומי ממסכת נדורים, when a person goes, is מודר הנאה מחברו. He's not allowed to have benefit from his friend, and he goes to visit him as a sick visit. He's allowed to stand, he's not allowed to sit. Sit is you're receiving, you're getting. So רבי גמליאל, תן רבי יהושע, עמוד על רגליך, אין לך מקום. If you hold תפילת ערבית is חובה, then you have the right to sit. You're in part in the place of Hashem. But if you hold on reshut, you're not in the place of Hashem, you have no right to be here. Therefore he says, עמוד על רגליך, get out of here. Therefore, all of the avanim, all of the stones fighting, where Yaakov going to put his head. Why? What is the fight? This is the first time that the world is hosting a person. When you host a person for the first time, everybody wants to host. Afterwards, you say, okay, I don't know. Nachon? First experience. All of the stones are saying, we want to be the host of Yaakov. But Hashem made a big difference. Hashem told the actual world of Yaakov, you are all going to be together for Yaakov. Meaning there is no individuals who are saving the world. The world becomes one entity. Meaning, when we are becoming guests for Hashem, by Hashem, all of the world is, Hashem is there to service us. It's going back and forth. Hashem takes commitment to service us, so all of the world is ready to serve Am Yisrael. כמו דגמור ישז, לפיכך חייב אדם לומר, בשבילי נברא העולם. The whole world is one unit to service Hashem. So therefore we all getting it together as one stone to service Yaakov. The whole world is there to service Hashem. In the bracha, Hashem telling him, I'm going to, הנה Hashem ניצב עליו. So I asked the question, Rav Sharon answered it right. Why the malachim עולים ויורדים בו? When do you need malachim to protect you? When you are outside of Hashem. At this point he's in ויפגע במקום. He's במקום of Hashem. You don't need, no need for anybody to watch you. Therefore, מלאכי אלוקים עולים ויורדים בו are outside. In this place, there is a special commitment by Hashem. So, והנה הצב לשם עליו לשומרו, that means, Hashem is declaring now, I am here to service you. When we are guests by Hashem, we're treating it on a secondary level to a certain extent. I'm only a guest. But you know what a guest means? That you have a host, and he says to service you, and to take care of you, and to do everything for you. Hashem is taking commitment over us. Rabbi says, you are my guest, Hashem says, and you can be my guest, and I will take care of you. There is a transition. Up to this point, Hashem is not taking care of people. We are bringing Hashem to people. Here Hashem is telling you, I am taking care of you. You're taking care of me. Therefore Hashem said to Yaakov, Eretz Israel that you're getting it now, קיפל את כל ארץ ישראל תחתיו. He folded everything under Yaakov. משאין כן by Avraham, Hashem didn't fold the land. What did Hashem do? קום התהלך. Because Avraham, he brought Hashem into the world. You need to conquer the world. You need to walk in Eretz Israel in order for you to receive it. But here, Hashem is servicing Yaakov. What's a customer service do? You bring it over to him. You don't make him schlep go all over Eretz Israel. Hashem is servicing Yaakov. I'm giving you now the land under you. And therefore it says, הארץ אשר אתה שוכב, לא, זה כבר היה לפני, הארץ אשר אתה שוכב אליה, לך אתננה וזרעך. So therefore I'm servicing you, I'm giving you the land.
And then he gives him Meiser.
Huh?
And then in return he gives him Meiser.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Then והיה זרעך כעפר הארץ, ופרצת ימה וקדמה, וצפונה ונגבה. By Avraham it says, צפונה ונגבה, ימה וקדמה. The way I think the pshat is the following. Avraham did the work himself in Eretz Israel. Hashem telling Yaakov, I'm doing it for you. So when Avraham is doing Eretz Israel, he goes away from Hashem, Tzafona v'Negba, and then he goes back, Yama v'Kedma, he goes back to Mizrach, to Yerushalayim. But here, Hashem is servicing Yaakov. Hashem goes from his place, Yama v'Kedma, and then goes to the side. If Avraham needs to do it, he needs to end up where Hashem is. But if Hashem is doing it for Yaakov, any direction you end, you are by Hashem, because it's all folding under you. So Hashem said, takes it the next step. והנה אנוכי עמך, ושמרתיך בכל אשר תלך, והשיבותיך אל האדם הזאת, כי לא אעזובך עד אשר אם עשיתי את אשר דיברתי לך. So Hashem is telling Yaakov, now Yaakov, we make new relationship. I'm here to service you. I'm here to take care of you. You my guest. ויקץ יעקב משנתו ויאמר, אכן יש השם במקום הזה, ואני לא ידעתי. I thought that we are hosting God. דאבה אמינה, נכון? But I understand that Hashem is here hosting me, ואנוכי לא ידעתי. Therefore, וירא ויאמר, מה נורא המקום הזה? אין זה כי אם בית אלוהים, וזה שער השמיים. From here, we send all of the tefillot to Hashem. When the tefillot will be accepted by Hashem? Only if you know that you are a guest by Him. If you demand by Hashem what you deserve, what you need, there is no way to receive the tefillot. He said, זה שער השמיים, this makom, the place of us being a guest, that's the only way that the tefillah will be receiving by Hashem. When he got up in the morning, he took the even and he used it as matzeva. He understood that Hashem is servicing him. So I'm thinking what Hashem gave me for my pillow, and what he was doing with it, servicing back Hashem with what Hashem gave him. Because all of our relationship with Hashem now to service is we receiving and we giving back. We'll see the effect in the word in a minute. And here the Torah conclude, והאבן הזאת אשר שמתי מצבה יהיה בית אלוקים, וכל אשר תיתן לי עשר עשרנו לך. We are partners. I got to give you meiser. I got to give you part of my income as a guest standing by you.
I'm saying you finally realize it's Avraham Yitzchak.
Now it's Abraham and Yitzchak together. Now, Rabbi said, look, there was a huge difference change the behavior of the world. Avraham Avinu need to do actions to bring the goyim to Avraham. אבל Yitzchak doesn't need to bring the goyim to him. You know how Yitzchak makes a difference in the world? By
Learning.
connecting back with Hashem. That's it. We change the way we influence the goyim. We have no responsibility to go and to make care of organization for the goyim to do Sheva Mitzvot Bnei Noach, to be better. That's not our obligation as to be all a goyim. We have an obligation to learn in yeshiva, to do shteigen, and that's how we're becoming the Ola Goyim. We have a responsibility to contain the actions of connecting to Hashem between us. That's how we affect the Goyim. We don't affect the Goyim by going over to the Goyim. We affect the Goyim by the relationship. We are a guest by Hashem. We're giving back to Hashem, and the rest of the world getting influenced. Therefore, it says by Yaakov, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, meaning, will be, והיה השם למלך על כל הארץ, ביום יהיה השם אחד, ושמו אחד. When Hashem will be אחד, ושמו אחד, when Hashem will be אחד, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, when we're going to be Shema Israel. What is Israel? We are the nation together. It's not about what we're doing to the Goyim. In order to make a difference to the Goyim, it's what we are doing within ourselves, not what we are doing for the Goyim. We have zero obligation to do anything for the Goyim. It's a full responsibility to do everything within ourselves. Yaakov is the only person who lives in the world that all of his present affect the Goyim without doing anything for the Goyim. Avraham, in order to affect the people around him, he needed to do Kiruv organization. That's Shorashim 1.0, when just bringing kids inside. But Yaakov, it made all change. For him to affect the Goyim, he doing Shorashim 2.0. He's a yeshiva and koilel and learning. That's how you get the effect to affect the Goyim. Meaning, Rav Shach used to say that the koilel in the city, even though they do nothing with the city, affect the whole city. The whole city really are a city only because of a koilel that in the city. Only now that Yaakov became the guest of Hashem, he's the one who presents Hashem himself. I'm your guest. I'm just working for you. Now, Vayetze Yaakov miBe'er Shava, that's a question of Shlomo. Only when Yaakov left, he made an impact. But what's the impact? Very superficial, not superficial, very spiritual impact. Hoda, Ziva, ve'hadara. What does that mean? The effect that we do to the Goyim shouldn't be done with an intention to affect. It should be a result of our behavior which affect the Goyim. We're not supposed to be proactive to affect. Because if you're proactive to affect people, you don't affect. If you do actions to make sure other people will do better, it's not real. The effect is Hod, Ziv, ve'adar. The effect means spiritual energy, kivyachol, that we influence the Goyim by us. We don't need to do anything specific to the Goyim. Therefore, the Torah says, Pana Oda, Pana Ziva, Pana Adara. The responsibility that we have now makes it much more easier understanding. Number one, Hashem is there to service you. Hashem is there to take care of you. People have problems in life. What do? They complain, Hashem, give me more, I'm missing. But if you do something else, it will be much easier. If you realize that Hashem is service you, how do you get your host to give you more?
Ask him.
If you go to your host and says, I'm sorry, I don't have this, I don't have that, what's going to be to your host? You're annoying, yalla, leave me alone. But if you go over to your host, thank you so much, what a beautiful bed. Wow, the breakfast was amazing this morning. Thank you last night for taking me out to Shir. Thank you for, I was set to a movie. Thank you to a Shir. Thank you for, if you do that to the guests, what would the host do? We'll give you more. If we want from Hashem, we shouldn't be complainers. We should just encourage our host, appreciate him. Say thank you, Hashem. Thank you for the health you're giving me, for the family giving me. Thank you for getting up this morning. Thank you that I have a job. Thank you that I can eat well. We are full of those. And then automatically, if you appreciate what the host give you, what would you do? Hashem, you do? We'll give you more. Hashem wants us to appreciate. Because only when we appreciate, Hashem will give us more. And then we can really give back to Hashem. Therefore the Gemara says, Kol ha'me'aneg et HaShabbat, zoche le'nachala bli metzari. What's me'aneg et HaShabbat means? Me'aneg et HaShabbat means, what is Shabbat? Shabbat is a day that Hashem telling you, take a break from the world. The Gemara says, Yehu ki'ilu kol melachto asuya. As if everything is done. Shabbat is a day that I understand I'm celebrating with Hashem. The more you celebrate with Hashem, the more you say to Hashem, thank you. I appreciate you. I admire you. If you're going to be that, you're going to be the best guest in the world. Then Hashem will give you so much. Notino v'nachala bli metzarim, without boundaries. Because if you appreciate me and you celebrate time that with me together, you will have a nachala bli metzarim.